Good morning, dear children. Welcome to grade 9 biology class. Okay. So, we all have originated from a dot. You will be thinking, what is dot? Yes, you are right. In lower grades 6 and 7 you have learned. What do you call that? Which we can't see with our naked eye. What do you call that? We all are built up of that. Yeah, you are right. It is cell. So, when a group of cell combine together, what we call? Yes, it is tissue. That is the lesson which we are going to learn today. Tissues. What do you mean by tissues? Tissues are group of cells having similar structure and function. Group of cell having similar structure and similar function. Okay, in plants and animals, they have specific function. For example, in human being, this muscular tissue, see, muscular tissue, it helps us to contract, relax, expand, right? So, it's all because of this muscular tissue we are able to move our hands, legs and different parts of the body. Now, if you see in plants, they too have tissues. They have two major tissues, okay, in which the main heading comes conducting tissues. Conducting tissues are the tissues which conduct, that is, we can call it as vascular tissue. So, vascular tissues are mainly of two types. One is xylem and another one is phloem. Xylem is the water conducting tissue, phloem is the food conducting tissue. My dear children, look at this diagram. It shows different types of muscles. The first one, smooth muscle. Second one, skeletal muscle. Third one, cardiac muscle. Now see on the side of the slide, what is it? It is the conducting tissues. The first one which is shown is xylem. The second one is phloem. Now let us come to the plant tissue. Plants do not move from one place to another. So what they do? They generally stand erect like, so it means they need support, mechanical support. So what you know, most of the tissues in plant cell are dead cells. What is the ultimate reason? It is because they need support. Okay, now if you take the growing regions of a plant, that is, wherever the growth, for example, elongation, it goes along, sideways. So, in all these areas where the growth is taking place, it is having meristematic tissues. We call it as meristematic tissues. Now, let us see about animal tissue. Animals can move from one place to another place. They need more energy. To move. So, most of the cells and tissues of animals are living. And moreover, my dear children, the animal move according to their will and wish. Okay. The growth of animals is also more uniform. It's not like that. The head is growing so long, the hands are going long. It's not like so. It is all, you can tell, it's a proportionate growth. So, animals have organs having specialized function. We have specialized organ for respiration, respiratory system. We have that. So, many systems, circulatory system, like many systems are there in our body to have in an organized way. So, we call that we are having organs with specialized tissues. Now, if you see plant tissue and their division, it is as such. Plant tissue. Plant tissues are of two types, meristematic and permanent. Meristematic and permanent. The meristematic ones are number 1, apical, number 2, intercalary, number 3, lateral meristem. From the name itself, apical, apex, intercalary, in between, right, in between, lateral, on the side. Okay, the node area we can call it as intercalary and all, nodal regions. Node is a part from where leaf arises. So that's what. And permanent tissue, as I told in the beginning, it is parenchyma, sclerenchyma, collenchyma. So we can tell that the permanent tissues of plant can be divided into two mainly. What are they? Simple permanent tissue, and the other one is complex permanent tissue. So remember children, permanent tissues are generally divided into two. One is simple permanent tissue and complex. Simples are the one. See, be very careful the way how you spell it, how you pronounce it. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, arenchyma, still many are there. But what is included, that is in your syllabus. Okay, we have little bit of examples that we will discuss more when we have interactive sessions. Okay, in that we will discuss it more. Now, as I told you, complex permanent tissue, xylem and phloem. All of you think for a second, what is the xylem and phloem for? Yeah, you're right. Let us see. When we'll proceed the class, we'll come to know what is it. So let us see what is apical meristem. Apical meristem is the one which is present. This meristem means dividing, always dividing. The one which is living in plant. It is seen in the tips of roots and stems of plants. Okay, so they help in what? What is this? Growth. It is growth. Then lateral meristem. Lateral meristems are, from the name itself it is indicated, it is on the sides of the stem as well as root, on the sides, present on the sides. Okay, and this helps to increase what? What is my gesture telling you? Increase the girth. Yes, girth, width. So that is called lateral meristem. Then next comes intercalary meristem. Inter, from the word itself, it is present in nodes and internodes. In 7th standard, if I am not wrong, teacher might have told you, node is a part from where leaf arises. And the space between two nodes, first node, second node, node, N-O-D-E, node. In between that, it's called internode. So this meristem, that is intercalary meristem, is present on the nodal area as well as in between the two nodes, internodes. Look, these are the section, we can call it as a section of stem apex as well as root tip, showing the meristematic tissue. Now, permanent tissue. Let me ask you, come on, let it flash your mind. What are the two types of permanent tissue? Yes, simple and permanent. Let us see what are the simple permanent tissues. 1. The permanent tissues which will not divide. Okay, permanent tissues are the ones which will not divide. They have permanent shape and size. They have permanent shape and size. Okay, and they are differentiated on the basis of their structure as well as function. Okay. Now let us see simple permanent tissue. Number one, in the beginning we told that, I hope you remember. What are they? Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. The first one, let us see parenchyma. Parenchyma are the loosely packed cells. Okay, they have thin walls. The walls are very thin. My dear children, look to the textual diagrams when you read the textbook and when you listen to this video. Try to recollect. Parenchyma are loosely packed. Okay, in a structure it's loosely packed, and moreover it has got thin walled cells. We can call it as thin walled cells. Okay, and these thin walled cells are having more intercellular spaces. What do you mean by intercellular spaces? 1, 2. First cell, second cell. In between the space, no, see, this space is called what? Intercellular spaces. Okay, they have more intercellular spaces, and they contain chloroplast. They contain chloroplast. The chloroplast is helping for something. Yes, you are right. It is for photosynthesis. Plants synthesize their food, right? The process is called photosynthesis. And some of the parenchymas will have large cavities. As I said you just now, that is the parenchymatic cells having large cavities. You know why that cavities are for? What is that cavities are for? It is just filled with air for floating on the water. You can see that water plants float on the water. Okay, so that cavity is filled with air and it helps to float. Okay. Look, this is the diagram of parenchyma. Collenchyma. The second one. Collenchyma consists of elongated cells. See, you can see in the slide even, it's elongated cells having less intercellular spaces. Look at the space. You can't find a space just like in parenchyma. There is not much intercellular spaces. Okay, and the corners are thickened. The corners of the cells are thickened. So they give flexibility and allows easy bending. It allows, the collenchyma allows easy bending of parts like stem, leaves, etc. And my dear children, it gives mechanical support also. Look at the diagram very carefully. I'm in the picture, the cross-sectional view. Next comes sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma consists of long, narrow, dead, thick-walled cells. My dear children, thick-walled. The walls are very thick, and it is filled with a chemical called lignin. Okay, it acts just like a cement, and cement hardens. So think, what is the purpose? Just to give the mechanical support, the strength. Okay, look the cross-sectional view and the longitudinal view, CS and LS. You will understand. See, in between there is only very little space in the cell. So what is that? It's all surrounded by the chemical called lignin, filled by the chemical called lignin. Look at this diagram. Please have a look. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. See how it is a miniature, or I can tell that it's a summary way which I have placed for you in this slide. Yes. Now we are coming to the complex tissue. And this complex tissues are xylem and phloem. This you know from 7th standard itself. Xylem is the one which carries water. Okay, and xylem consists of 4 types of cells, or you can tell that's composed of 4 types of cells. 1. Tracheids. 2. Xylem parenchyma. And 3. Xylem fibers. 4. Vessels. Okay. So, remember that xylem consists of 4. Tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. Okay. And the main function of xylem, yes, 7th standard, come on, recall. It is to supply the plants with minerals and water. Okay. So, don't forget this function. And my dear children, xylem parenchyma stores food also. Okay. And fibers, again, it helps in support. Okay. Phloem. Phloem consists of sieve tubes, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, phloem fibers. There also 4, here also 4. What are they? Sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Sieve tubes and companion cells always transport food. From where? From the leaves to different parts of plant. Okay. And phloem parenchyma stores the food and fibers and help again for support. Yeah, dear children, I think this is enough for today. Right? You have learned lots of terms. So once again, I request you all to read the textbook very carefully, to underline the terms like parenchyma, collenchyma, lignin. So all these are the terms that you have to remember. You have to produce that in long run. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that you all will read the textbook. And that's all for today. Thank you so much.